You're watching National Streaming Sports. Over 20 podcasts, 70 shows, and a 3.5-star rating on Roku TV.
All right. Let me make sure that everyone can hear me right now. I think you all can. Welcome to the Captain Jack Show. Captain Jack is right there right now in Green Bay, front and center. So the number 8 selection has already come in, and that we're waiting for Carolina's pick. But for all of you who are just tuning in right now, thank you for joining the Captain Jack show. Thank you, Black Thanos, for being here. And yeah, Captain Jack said he'll make an appearance. I gotta keep this up for the Roku channel. If you guys want to join in Jeff's show, he's on right now. Also on Jeff's podcast, New England Raider Booster Club, and then Rundown is on his channel right now. So. But yeah, I'm hoping that we get some other folks to join us today. We shall see. We shall see. Oh, Captain Jack's here. Yay!
Oh, actually, wow, I'm here.
Yay!
How you doing, folks? I can't hear you. But even though it's not as packed as it was last year in Detroit, my voice is a bit gone because there's been some shit going on here. All right, everybody, I can't see all the comments because unfortunately, there's a saying that says share your referral. Oh, Jay said, "Hey, salute to you." I have to move comments in order to see them. And so again, don't eat too much. Oh no, I haven't had any cheese yet. But Angelo, I'm not sure what you were talking about. I wanted to hear your thoughts on the pick, and then I'll tell you mine.
Yeah, no, Cap. So I just went on. I want I want to let you know, Cap. I don't know if you can hear me clearly. Cap is in Green Bay right now. You guys,
I gotta put my phone up to my ear. So if you see a picture of the sky, it's because I have the phone up to my ear so I can hear.
Got it. No, Cap. So just so that you know, for whatever reason, when the recording went out, the Roku version keeps saying that it's not playing on Roku for whatever reason. I don't know why. But on all the other Facebooks and on the YouTube, we are live. Everybody, Captain Jack is there in Green Bay. That's why you're looking at a picture of the Green Bay, Wisconsin skies right now. You're seeing the amazing Captain Jack in his awesome uniform.
I love you, but I'm not amazing, brother.
and yeah, no. Obviously, Captain Jack, as you know, I wanted Armand Membu. Armand Membu got taken right after. It's the same story for me. Last year, we took Browers, and then the very next pick was Fuaga, who I wanted. This year, everybody was reporting Ashton Genty. That's what, a lot of the Raider Nation is happy that Ashton Genty. As you know, Cap, my heart is always with, let's build the whole line. I think that what the Jets are doing the last 2 years have been a very good thing because they took Olu Fashanu last year, O-line, and now they took Armand Membu this year, O-line. They're building for the future. So that's my take on it. I'm not disappointed that it's Genty because at least it wasn't something crazy like Shedeur Sanders. But
I'll give it that. It wasn't a fucked up pick. It wasn't a fucked up pick. In fact, wait a second. I want. Hey, ladies, come here for a second. Okay. I want you to see that there are some beautiful Kansas City fans that we get along with. Okay, this is from the show. This is my gal Wendy, Casey Glam, beautiful lady that she is. I got Casey over there. Come on over. Glitz. I haven't anything to drink other than water either. So there she is again. Angelo's in my studio doing the show while I'm here. Yeah, he's doing my license. It's there. So, but the one thing I wanted to say, since these ladies are from here, what person did you want the Chiefs to draft? I want to hear the by voice.
Armando Mama Baba. He just got chosen.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Even those ladies knew that he was the pick. And I said, you guys got to trade up into the top 10.
We needed to trade up.
You needed to trade up into the top. So even they knew how much of a stud Armand Membu is going to be. He's Mizzou. Doesn't matter if he played for the University of Mars. the kid was a stud. Yeah. And so I'm happy that they didn't get him. That's the only thing I'm happy about. But I wanted you all to know. I said, and I want to thank the ladies here because they're wonderful, they're beautiful, and it's always a great thing when you have some good friends here at the draft. So they love the glasses. I did a good thing. But yeah, Angelo, thank you for holding down the fort. Like you, I wanted Membu. And again, it's not a bad pick. But as I put on Facebook and as I put on Instagram with a black picture, I said, I want to see how much talent this kid has running behind an offensive line that's patchwork. With Geno Smith running for, not necessarily for his life, but Geno Smith running to make pass attempts. I'm not mad at the pick. I'm just saying that we needed Armand Membu. So again, that's why I asked to get the girls in here because they wanted him too. So it's not just me.
He's Mizzou. We wanted a local boy, and we need an offensive line.
That's right.
Desperately.
Yes. They need offensive line because Patrick,
He messed up. He should have traded. He should have traded up. We have enough picks.
Yep.
He could have traded up.
They could have done a Ricky Williams draft. We'll give you every pick we got for the number 7 pick. That's the type of shit that we got.
Well, just so
We
that the
needed
ladies
it.
There you
know,
go. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate you coming in.
Nice meeting you.
There you go.
Thanks for
Nice
taking
seeing
care of
you.
it.
Nice seeing you, ladies.
And I got my boy all in all Autumn Wind over here. We're doing a live. It's on my
Oh,
show.
hey.
We're doing a live on.
Baby, let's go! Is that too loud?
No, that's fine.
Okay, good.
That's fine.
Hey, man, I was so nervous with that trade, the Jags. I didn't know what to doing. I was sitting there holding my breath. Ashton Genty, baby, let's go. We got him.
We disagree on this one.
Oh, okay. Who doesn't like the pick?
Well, no. It's not that I don't like the pick.
Okay, here we go.
I
Captain
don't
Jack.
like that. This is the analytical part of me. The pick that I wanted was the one that went number 7, which is Armand Membu.
Oh yeah, I mean he was a beast, and actually I thought Genty might go before us, and I was like, that's who we need to take if he does.
Yeah.
I'm pumped, man. Genty's a beast, and he's ripped.
Well,
He's gonna
I was
run
gonna
over
say,
some guys.
well, I hope he can because he doesn't have an offensive line in front of him, and that needs to be taken care of as
Yeah,
well.
that's true.
And-
We'll get one. There's some more O line out there. You know, this would be great. We get Genty for a few years and then lose him to free agency, right?
Well, hopefully not. But and again, I want to give a big hug to my boy.
Good to see you, man.
All in Autumn. If you guys do not subscribe to All in Autumn Win on his great channel that he does, shame on you. Shame on you. And
I'm having a good time.
I'm glad to call him a friend. I'm glad to see you here. I didn't realize that you were. Yeah, you'll be here. So again,
Always. If you guys can make it to a draft somehow, some way, do it. It's a great experience, man. Great experience.
it's a great experience to sit in the inner circle when somebody buddy fucks you and takes your spot.
Okay, there's some drama. We'll do that offline.
Yeah, we'll talk about that offline.
See you guys. Go Raiders.
And I'll be over in a few. I'll be over in a few. But again, yeah, I'm not really happy right now about other shit. But that's me, Angelo. So go ahead again. And I appreciate you being there, holding it down. It's a bit loud in here. I can hear from you a little bit, but the sound. So if I hear you talk, it's good. So Art White, I agree. It's great to get your meat and potatoes, but you better have some fucking beef in front of you. And even like I said, even the ladies from KC knew that Armand Membu was the pick. And Angelo, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay, Cap. And like I was saying before to everybody, if you notice, the top 3 O-line has already been taken. Kelvin Banks, number 9, went to the Saints. Armand Membu, number 7, went to the Jets. And then Will Campbell, number 4, went to the Patriots. So you can see like certain teams are going for the beef, right? And for us, we're gonna need that. Hopefully, for our second round pick, we're gonna get someone like Tyler Booker from Alabama, or Donovan Jackson from Ohio State, or Gray Zabel if he falls. But we're gonna need to protect the kid because having a good running back is all fine and dandy as long as he can actually run. But we can't protect him right now at this point. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, and
it's been pretty exciting.
Well, like I said, the Membu pick will be a lot better if and when they have the linemen that they did. Remember, in round 2 and round 3 last year, the Raiders did address the offensive line. Okay, and I firmly believe that they better do it again this year, and hopefully. Maybe the Raiders, there will be somebody that the still suck. Louder! Louder! Still suck. You're on my show. I got my YouTube show. I'm not there. I got somebody doing the show for me while I'm there. And Bears still sucks. Yeah, he said it. But again, if the Raiders address offensive line, then they'll be good to go. And again, then the Genty pick will be much better because if Gino has nobody to in front of him, and Genty has nobody to block for him, the pick makes no sense. And again, I'm not dissing Ashton Genty. I'm not. But I'm just saying that the pick would have been. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. If they do things right, they'll take care of the offense, and then they still need beef on the defense. When Mason Graham was picked, I was like, well, shit, that would have been my boy. But hey, Grant, the kid from Michigan that played alongside Mason Graham, maybe that's the pick in round 2 because they still need to address the defensive line. But now, okay, now that you got Genty, that kind of throws out the window that you're not going to get Henderson or Judkins because now you got Ashton Genty. So it kind of gives away what your draft strategy is for the rest of the draft as well.
Yeah, absolutely, Cap. The Bears are picking right now.
The Bears are picking. That's why you hear all of it, and I can't hear you because the Bears still suck shit going on. You're gonna have to stream, Angelo. I'm sorry.
No problem, Cap. A lot of boos. Boo!
Hey, and I'm gonna bow out. I'm not gonna end. I'm not gonna push end because I don't want to fuck up the broadcast. Just kick me out and remove me, and I will try to be back later. But again, thank you for being here to have the draft. Like I said, Darren McFadden part 2, great, but they better get some people in front of them. That's all I got to say.
Yes, sir. And yeah, keep it on live because we do want to see whatever view you see. We would love to see that same view too, Cap.
Oh, well, I see. I'm here waiting to get on stage, and like I said, that's the view. I don't even have a view of the stage because I'm sitting in my chair. So
gotcha.
at least I'm comfortable. Cap. I'm sitting in my chair.
Yes, sir.
But the fact remains, like I said, and I said it right here. I'm not very happy with being buddy fucked out of a spot in the inner circle. I'm very pissed off at that. But I'm gonna let that. I'm gonna just let that roll off my tongue and be honest. So we'll say. But again, I appreciate it, Angelo. Go ahead and kick me out. Maybe if the folks that are sitting in the inner circle for the Raiders, when they start losing people and they start looking for Raider fans, maybe I'll be up there and we'll go from there. See you tomorrow, brother. Hey, there you go. Hey, Mikey, we're on the show. I got Mikey from the Jets. Mikey,
no fighting.
No, okay, good to see you, man. That's it. They took our fucking pick. They took our fucking pick.
Jets, baby.
I'll see you tomorrow. So we're having a good time. We're having a good time here. I tell you, the one thing I do say about going to the draft every year, like I said, you don't see all the fans at once unless you go to the draft, unless you go to the and even when you go to the Hall of Fame game, not everybody's represented, but the draft, everybody is represented, and it's a great thing. But yeah, hey, Angelo, like I said here, I'm going to put my phone up. If I put it up, maybe you can see the stage.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's definitely bright. Looks like San Francisco's pick is in.
I don't know if you saw the stage or not, but I'm sitting in the chair. But hey, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, take care. Kick me out, Angelo. I don't want to push end and fuck up the broadcast, and I will try to come back later if there's some other things to say. But thank you there, shipmate.
Yes, sir.
All right. You ladies are going to the head. So I'm going to try to get in there. Guys, take care. Love you. We'll see you. Kick me out, Angelo. I don't want to push.
All right. You guys just saw Captain Jack live and direct with the ladies over there at the Green Bay Packers stadium. And now I got Black Thanos. There he is. Talk to me, Sharif. Talk to me.
Mic check. Mic check. Can you hear me, bro?
We can hear you loud and clear. Let us know how you're feeling right now.
All right. Thanks. It felt like a kid waiting for Christmas. And too often for Raider fans, it's like we get a stocking full of coal as of late. I'm a little torn and conflicted over the pick. I certainly understand the rationale. Could have kept Josh Jacobs and literally let him walk out the building without an offer. Chances of many, I still believed in investing in the most important position on the board and your future, which would have been Mr. Sanders. And crucify him now, but 5 now. We shall see what he made the right decision. You know, when you're talking about a kid who has the pedigree, the poise, the production, he didn't leave college early, like he's coming out like some prima donna. 4-year kid, 72% completion percentage, 7,800 yards, and 64 TDs, 13 INTs just in the last 2 years at Colorado. You can put him behind a Geno Smith, just like Jordan Love sat behind someone, just like Patrick Mahomes sat, just like Brady once upon a time sat, and Stabler, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But he's not here, and we don't know where he may end up. And if Pittsburgh, a consistent team, a well-run organization that continuously find ways to be competitive despite their turnover or roster, get him, and he turns out to be a 8 to 12-year franchise guy over there, we would be snake bit once again. But however, Genty, his film looked great, but except the Penn State game, whereas that defense basically decimated him and causing him to turn the ball over multiple times in a blowout, and Genty's few runs of recognition happened in garbage time. Him being a smaller kid, taking at 6, and I can't help but think of Ricky Williams at 5, and think we took McFadden at 4. But McFadden could go 1 or 2. See, it was cases like McFadden that contributed to the mindset of don't take running back so early because of the heavy toll on their bodies. And in this particular draft class, being deep at that position, it's extremely risky. It's high risk and high reward. I get it. But it's likely he might not even be the best running back of this draft class as a professional because of the situation he's stepping in immediately. So is he better than who we currently have? Yes. Hell, you can find a geriatric in a wheelchair to be better than Zeus, who has no vision. But I just, we've just been so snake bit and had such horrible luck in recent years, and we find ourselves in April once again feeling good, over glorifying somebody, accentuating the positive, and then that dark reality hits us sometimes around November, or waiting on a Tyree Wilson to develop after damn near 3 years, or Alex Leatherwood coming from Alabama and being out of the league before you could click your heels 3 times. I'm just hoping that this kid can prove us wrong and not be Reggie Bush, Ricky Williams, Kajana Carter, even McFadden, who I liked, but he couldn't stay healthy. And this kid being 5'8", maybe 205, maybe 210, that Kentucky Fried kid. It's, it's going to be interesting. So I'm torn over the pick. And, I know I'm the minority when I say I would have took the quarterback, because if you expect it competitive, you're not in that high position any marquee guy next, assuming that Cat is only going to be here for about 3 years or so. And I hope people are not hinging their hopes on a 19-year-old man who hasn't really done nothing for about 1,000 yards in 2 years at your pipe dream. There's no solution, because in a couple of years, the Raiders can find themselves right back at ground zero with another placeholder, while Sanders, whoever takes him, becomes a household name. And we'll be like coulda, woulda, shoulda. So that's how I'm feeling Raider transplant. I'm not disgusted at the pick because I do understand need, but there's quite a few running backs in the draft class. And because of whatever bad PR or prejudice or erroneous perception, Sanders is and funny, bro, is that exactly a year ago, a lot of Raider fans who I argued with were crucifying Antonio Pierce for not tanking for Shedeur. Fast forward to right now, all of a sudden, you don't want Shedeur. So, we shall see how Mr. Genty turns out, and I think he's a good kid, and his film looks great in most spots, but like I said, so did Reggie Bush, so did McFadden, so did Ricky Williams, so did Charles White. I could go on and on and on.
Hey, thank you there, Sharif.
Did I lose the
You were breaking
transplant?
out in and out. You were breaking out a little bit. I'm going to have Jack Kenna, who just jumped on the Captain Jack Rackham channel. Again, we are here live on Roku. And also, Captain Jack was actually with us for the first 15 minutes while he was on the draft. He gave us our take. He's just taking a little break right now. He'll be back on when he can. So now we're live with Jack Kenna. Jack Kenna, your thoughts on the number 6 pick?
Well, before I answer that, I hopped on in the chat because I was watching Max Crosby's channel with JPJ, and they were both screaming Genty, Genty, Genty before the pick was announced. So, I mean, that's got to give you something when you got two of our better players. I didn't go on anyone's channel. I'm just watching these guys. And they're both screaming Genty, Genty, Genty. And they got him. And JPJ is high-fiving the TV. So, I mean, that's got to give you something, for Raider Nation, like what they want. Two of our better players. He's not the guy that I wanted overall. And, Angelo, you know this. I said it to you before the show even happened. I wanted Mason Graham. But Mason Graham got picked before we got him. There was only 3 players in the whole draft. If we're going to stay put, was Genty, not in order again. Well, okay, I'll go order. Mason Graham. Number 2 was Genty. Number 3 is Membu. That was my 3 players I wanted in that order. Last year we had exactly the same player that went to the Aints at a right tackle.
Yeah, and if you think about it, Jack Kenna, real quick, and I'll keep letting you go. The Saints, what did they do again? They took Kelvin Banks. So they got Fuaga last year, who I wanted, and now they got Kelvin Banks. Yep. They just set themselves up. They just set themselves up moving into the future. Now, what did the Jets do? The Jets last year took Olu Fashanu, and then they took this year Armand Membu. They're setting themselves up with O-line of the future. So that's all I wanted to do. Go ahead, Jack.
No, I totally, absolutely agree. It's like, I've been talking to a lot of my friends behind the scenes, like you, Angelo, and my friends that all wanted the quarterback in the way of Sanders are all upset and angry. And I'm like, I never saw it. I didn't see it. I don't see him being there at number 6. I could see if we really want Sanders, well, maybe we can trade up in the second round and go and get him. When the Saints don't want him, when Derek Carr's hurt, and all they got is Rattler, and they pass on him, the next logical spot for him is number 21 with Pittsburgh.
And that's if they take him, Jack. That's if they take him. Because I could see them taking defense. Edge is such a big thing right now, the edge, that I can totally see Tomlin getting an edge. I mean, Walker is still there. Walker is still available. And you remember they were talking about the Raiders possibly taking Walker at edge.
I was hearing that like on, I go on since I do the, again, Angelo, you've been on the show, Wild Wild West. So I go on Denver Bronco channels and like, I've heard like, some Denver Bronco fans saying, oh, that's the Raiders pick. I'm like, no, I don't know what you're thinking. I mean, I guess you're hoping that we take a 6'1", 243-pound, edge / middle linebacker at number 6. I don't see that. I didn't see it. So it's like, I'm glad what we did. I'm glad we got Genty because you know what? What if he is like another Marcus Allen? Or, like his comparison is a guy that was from the Chargers. I'm trying a hard time remember his name. They're Hall of Famer.
LaDainian Tomlinson.
If he is like him, hang on. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. If he is like him, then I'm super happy. And we could look at the offensive line. We could look at all these other positions. But if we get a kid like this, I don't care where he's drafted at, but he is like a top 3 or 4 player in his entire draft, talent-wise. I mean, when you get a guy that's like 1,700 yards after the first touch, that's huge. And yes, I get it. Raider Nation, for you guys who didn't like it, again, I want Mason Graham. But when you go to the, we wanted the Ohio State boys, right? For a lot of us, or Amari Hampton. It's a deep draft for running backs. So if we could have got Mason Graham and then got a running back, well, that would be a different story. But it didn't work out that way. So I'm not upset with it. I like it. So, Angelo, how do you feel about it? It's just hopping on.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, that's what I told Captain Jack. It's the same, like last year. Was I upset that we got Bowers? Not really. I mean, I understood.
Well, we were in the beginning.
I mean, but I wasn't like Turf.
We had to give it 24 hours, right?
Well, yeah, Turf was going nuts. I mean, for me, I was like, I want to understand why. I want to understand why, right? And again, I was correct about the Talisi Fuaga pick because he is great. And he's doing awesome with the Saints.
You and I both agreed on Fuaga last year. We both wanted him, and we didn't see it happen. So I know it took me 24 hours to digest getting Bowers.
Right. But again, what ended up happening is Brock Bowers became the best offensive player, definitely the best tight end last year.
In
so
NFL
it worked
history.
out. And if the same thing happens with Genty, all I'm going to say is to everyone, don't expect us to go to the playoffs. Don't, right? Because that's what happened, right? As long as your expectations are low, then the Raiders will surprise you, right? If your expectations are high, if you somehow think getting Ashton Genty is going to be the key factor to getting us to the playoffs, I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. I understand why Max Crosby's happy. I understand why right now they're doing on the Rush podcast, they're doing that live and they're excited. I get it. No one is going to go on and say Ashton Genty is not a good player, right? We all know Ashton Genty was the runner-up for the Heisman Trophy. A lot of people believed he should have won the Heisman Trophy. He almost broke Barry Sanders' record in college. All we were saying in the Raider Nation for us, for the old school, I guess, type fans who believe in the trenches, is until we have a line that can protect and move the chains for us, having star players like Bowers, like Genty, isn't all complete yet. So I was very upset that during the free agency, we didn't go after any of the big names for guard. Right now, we still need to be able to restructure and extend Colton Miller's contract. So,
absolutely.
I mean, right now we have JPJ and then we have Glaze, who's going in his second year. JPJ's going in his second year. Colton Miller is 29, getting older, right? Hopefully that shoulder injury doesn't bother him too much going into this season, but we need a lot of O-line help, guys. We need a lot of O-line help. So
we don't need a lot. We do need another player, but I don't think we need a lot. I mean, Miller, I feel like we're going to definitely re-sign Miller. Miller's only right now getting $12 million. $12 million this year. I feel like we're definitely going to re-sign him. He's 29 years old. He totally fits, what Pete Carroll's time frame is going to be. 3 years, right? That's about Miller's time frame. So I think we're going to re-sign him. Yes, would I like another offensive lineman? And you know what? I feel like in round 2, we got a running back. We probably will go an offensive lineman if they drop at guards in round 2. Like what I don't know his name. I'm sorry, I apologize. But the offensive lineman from Ohio State, I can see him, if he falls to that spot, I can see us doing that because you know what? If you draft a Genty, you got to block for him, right? So I feel like, that could be like a good pick for the Raiders in round 2 and just figure everything else out after that.
But also keep in mind with the inclusion of Chip Kelly, who we made the highest paid OC in history.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope we get our money's worth as opposed to the guy from Chicago we had in the previous year. Then, obviously that has to play a role because the Raiders were number 10 as far as their O-line in 23, Jacobs' last season here. And within 1 year, there was a little bit of turnover, but not major. And with the inclusion of some rookies, I think we finished around 22 or 23 this past season. That still isn't as bad as Seattle, which was 29th, and Geno went 10 and 7, behind that line. So you figure you have Geno, you have Chip Kelly, you take on a different approach. Now you're bringing this kid from the running back, Genty. He can't be any worse than that RB we had that had no vision. A lot of it was just poor execution as well. And just lack of talent. I was never sold on Zeus and couldn't believe what people saw in the kid when they were so nonchalant about Jacobs not being here. And I said, you're going to suffer greatly if you don't re-sign Jacobs. And that's what happened.
Well, you got to remember, like what we all saw in Zeus, the last 4 games of the year after Jacobs got hurt. So the last 4 games, everyone's banged up, right? And now he's coming in super fresh. And they used him the right way. They ran him on the outside. We all know
right.
Zeus cannot run inside. He has no vision. He cannot make anybody miss. So when they used him at the last 4 games, it was always on the outside. It's on the perimeter. He's he's a big boy, so it's hard to take down at that point. But when you run him on the inside, no, it just doesn't match up. And and what I like about this, we had the absolute worst running attack in the NFL last year. And yes, Santos, I know you agree with me on this. We made the biggest mistake, and I'm sure Angelo agrees. We made a big mistake of letting JJ go. We should have kept JJ. So, you know what? If we kept JJ, then we would not have made this pick. But we did not we let him go. And we suffered. And it's like, when you're the worst running attack team in the NFL, and then now, again, new regime, we get potentially one of the best running backs who can be potentially, I said JJ is the 3rd best running back in Raiders history behind Bo and Marcus. I'm not going to say which one's better, but the 3rd best running back. So when you get a running back that's got this type of potential where he's a 3-down running back, he can run, he can catch, he can block. You can use him on every down. And our biggest weakness is a great pickup. Again, he's not my first guy I wanted the Raiders to take, but he's a great pickup. So I'm happy we got him. And what do you guys think? I mean, honestly, I just joined up, hopped in the chat, watching the Rush show with Max and JPJ, and then I hop on, and it's like, I don't know what you guys even think. What do you guys think?
Yeah, no, I mean, we were talking about it earlier, again, Jack. And for me, look, I can tell you guys all of the positives about Ashton Genty. Again, I watched him live. I mean, he is an amazing player. He's most likely, in terms of if we're looking at potential and talent and what he's already proven he can do, he is the best. Every analyst had him as the number 3 best unique player in all of the draft. So this is very similar to what happened with us last year. We took Brock Bowers when no one was taking Brock Bowers, and Brock Bowers became not only the number 1 tight end last year, he might have been one of the top 2, maybe the best offensive overall player last year too, right? In terms of a non-quarterback. So Genty could be that, right?
Could be.
The issue again here is, until I think in the next few days we see the Raiders completely address the O-line, I, as a Raider fan, cannot trust the current O-line that we have right now. I just don't trust it. I believe we need guards, and you already saw the guard talent in this draft is so high that Tyler Booker got picked number 12 by the Cowboys, right? Banks already got taken. Mambu already got taken. Campbell already got taken. A lot of O-lines are
Booker
leaving.
got taken by the Cowboys, not
Yes.
Hampton.
Yes, we're already in pick number 15 right now to the Falcons.
I'm not watching because I'm hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, I can see Sanders. There's already 2 tight ends. In fact, one of the bigger shockers is the Chicago Bears at number 10 took Colston Loveland. And then Indianapolis at number 14 took Tyler Warren. So 2 tight ends went in the top 15 already, right? And so there's a ton of edge talent left. There's a ton of O-line. The O-lines, like, there's these crazy little runs that's happening. So, like I said, when you were talking about even Shedeur Sanders, I can see the Pittsburgh Steelers saying to themselves, we need to set up the future and pass on Sanders and actually take a Walker or someone. There's so much talent. So what I care about now is, will the Raiders address the O-line the same way they addressed it last year? Last year, for the 2nd pick, they took JPJ. For the 3rd pick, they took DJ Glaze. So this year, for the 2nd pick, are we going to get, hopefully Gray Zabel if he's still available? Hopefully Donovan Jackson from Ohio State if he's still available. But are we going? I mean, even Jonas Savanea for Arizona, I hope he's still around. We need to address the O-line, and I hope we keep that trajectory. But at this point, I don't know. What I do know is Ashton Genty, if you're playing him in a video game, is amazing. If you watch them live, he's amazing. If you watch them in college football, he's amazing. If you watch all of his highlights, he's amazing. He's every bit as amazing as Brock Bowers was last year. And Brock Bowers didn't disappoint. So I'm sure he'll be fun. Again, I'm not sure how playoff bound we are yet by committing a number 6 pick to be Ashton Genty. Keep in mind, as good as Saquon Barkley was this year, he was taken 2nd overall. He got injured, I think, in year 2. I hope that the Raiders protect Ashton Genty, a number 6 pick.
I agree.
He can't just be the workhorse. We can't get this kid injured. It has to be like a combination of Raheem Mostert and Genty, and maybe throw some other back in there so that we don't, I don't want to waste this talent. And that's why I'm screaming from the rooftop about fixing the trenches. And I'm sure a lot of you on the chat and everybody who's listened to me in the past know I'm all about the trenches. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, maybe your wish will come true, but you got to remember this is a new regime with Telesco. That double agent being out the building. Though historically, when Pete was with Seattle, him and Schneider in the draft room, they tend to go for defensive backs, tackles, and at times wide receivers or tight ends. That made up like the glut of a lot of their picks in earlier rounds. But Genty is a weapon for sure, and the potential is there. So, and we need someone with an impact, and he does offer a potential impact. I share your concerns as far as can we maximize him, bringing him in the way that we are currently constructed. So yeah, Bowers took us all by surprise because we necessarily didn't need a tight end a year ago. We definitely needed improvement at the running game this year, but we didn't think we would go this early at 6. Well, some of us didn't think that with Genty. So that's the concern. But that's what we're paying Chip Kelly $6 million to figure out, to scheme up, devise, and strategize to get the most out of this kid with this great highlight reel to his name.
And what I'll say too is, if you're a fantasy football player, just like last year, for all of you who were smart enough to take Brock Bowers, like I did, my brother did, it'll be smart for you to take Ashton Genty this year in your fantasy teams, because Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty is going to get used a lot.
Well, Angelo, you and Spytek's son Jack is like, he's right there with you, bro. Yeah. As a 10-year-old, yeah, pretty smart. I do agree, though. I think at this point, we pretty much have to go offensive line in our next pick. I just feel like, if you're going to draft a Genty, you need a player that can, put out there. Because I've been looking at, again, when they pop up, Angelo, for Denver and the Chargers, please announce their picks. Sure. I see those guys going, defense, and I definitely see.
No, I think Denver is going to pick Omari and Hampton, running back.
Well, that's what I said to Richie. Richie disagreed with me, and he took Grant.
No, Grant already got taken. Grant already got taken
by
number 13 by Miami Dolphins.
Nice.
So just to recap with everybody already, the first pick was Cam Ward. The second pick was Travis Hunter, which was an amazing trade from the Browns. The Browns got a haul. They got two first-round picks, a second pack this year. They got a haul just to move down, and they ended up getting Mason Graham anyways. So I think they always wanted Mason Graham. They probably just didn't want to take Mason Graham as their second pick. Travis Hunter went second. The third pick became Abdul Carter, which is a no-brainer. He's the best. He is really the best linebacker coming out, and I think the New York Giants are trying to maybe recreate their next Lawrence Taylor. The fourth pick, everybody kind of sort of knew because he was the one that everybody was talking about for the Patriots in the beginning, and that was Will Campbell. So Will Campbell goes fourth. And then the fifth pick, again, was the Browns, who's now going to have two number 2 picks or 2 second-round picks, and they're also going to have 2 first-round picks next year. And then we took Ashton Genty. Number 7 was Armand Membu to the Jets. Number 8 was the shocker because it was Tetrola McMillan to the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, that's a shocker.
Yeah. And then number 9,
defensive end.
Yeah. Then number 9, Kelvin Banks to the Saints. Totally makes sense because you got Fuaga last year, so of course you get Kelvin Banks this year. That makes sense. Shocker to me again was Chicago Bears took Colston Loveland. So they already signed Cole Kmet, and then I guess they wanted another tight end, but who knows, man? They got Caleb Williams. Maybe they're running a 2 tight end set with Ben Johnson now. I have no idea, but sure. Michigan's Colston Loveland is definitely one of the top 2 tight ends this year. And then number 11, the San Francisco 49ers took Mikael Williams, edge. Number 12 was the shocker for a lot of people. Cowboys went with a guard, Tyler Booker from Alabama. Number 13th was Kenneth Grant. Number 14th was another tight end in Tyler Warren. So yeah, and then I just missed the number 15 pick. Hold on, is with the Falcons, and let me see if anything posts because I missed it.
I will say, it's a shocker that the Cowboys didn't take Hampton and taking Booker. I thought I drafted with the YWO show last night, and I got Booker in the second round. So I thought he would drop. I did not see the Cowboys wanting to do that. I see them wanting to run it back. So it's going to be interesting now for them. So, I've seen hey, Matt, salute, brother. You're talking, a cornerback. We do need a cornerback.
Yes.
We lost 2 cornerbacks this year. And our slot corner, is it Harmon? I don't think he's all that good. So, yeah, I can see that, the Ole Miss cornerback or even a Kentucky cornerback. I can see that in round 2, especially now with you mentioned, the offensive lineman from Ohio State gone. That's it. Is it Amos? I think from Ole Miss. I can definitely kind of see that happening if it falls that way.
I'm trying to catch up right now. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to see who it is that the Falcons took. Pick number 16 for Arizona is what's in right now.
The Falcons. I wouldn't be surprised another defensive end. They keep taking defensive ends every year. It's like they just don't work out. So, Angelo, I got to ask, when I popped on, Cap was not happy. So what was he not happy about?
No, he was just saying the same thing I was saying about how, we need to protect the kid. We wanted Armand Membu. Membu got taken next, and that's okay. I mean, he's not upset that we got Genty. He just, again, it's about the O-line. Until we can prove that. I mean, look, Josh Jacobs on his final year, and I didn't want to let him go. I wanted to just do the franchise tag on him again, but he didn't get protected that well either. So he didn't have the same stats he had that he ended up having last year for Green Bay, because Green Bay actually was able to protect him.
What?
Right? So it's the same thing. Ashton Genty's going to need that type of protection. Otherwise, he's going to, he might get to 1,000 yards and hopefully he doesn't get injured, or we could protect him and then he could have a hell of a year, but it's no good to take number 6 pick just to get injured.
Yeah. But concerning Captain Jack Kenner, I believe Cap alluded to somebody's buddy or friend taking Cap's spot in the inner circle where the super fans would sit close to the stage. So, Cap was definitely perturbed and upset about that. He didn't go into great detail, but he did touch on it briefly. So I guess he was just letting us know if his mood seemed different, that is why. So as opposed to Cap sitting in the inner circle, which I'm sure he was expecting to, he was somewhere on the outer perimeter in his power chair, if you will. So that's what really had him annoyed. Not so much the draft per se, but he believed his spot was taken because of some favoritism or something that happened out there.
That's kind of crazy.
Arizona just took Walter Nolan, defensive tackle. So if you look at the board right now, Mason Graham went, Kenneth Grant went, now Walter Nolan went. Those are all defensive tackles.
Wow.
I'm telling you, this is a heavy talent-based defense. I could totally see Shedeur Sanders drop into the second round.
Again, I think Pittsburgh might not pass up on Sanders, or they might go Dart. Who knows? Otherwise, there's gonna be some trade outs going in the second round. And it's really crazy, dude. Someone on the inner circle, like Cap, dude. We all love Cap.
Yeah.
We all owe, all of us, all three of us.
Yes, of course. And to travel that far to attend the draft, yes, I would be upset as well if I had a understanding of where my seating location would be, or So that's what had Cap, a little upset. But I'm sure he will go into more details maybe later if he goes on the air.
Yeah, I'll just have to reach out behind the scenes, see what his thoughts are.
So here we go. The Atlanta Falcons took Walker, linebacker, Georgia. So yeah, see, I told you. So now Pittsburgh, maybe they will go Shedeur Sanders. I don't know.
Again,
Walker got taken.
Walker defensive end, right?
Wow.
I know. Walker is a linebacker. He's the guy
he's a tweener. He's a tweener between a middle linebacker and a rushing outside linebacker on the 4-3.
– Again, guys, we're at the Captain Jack Show. We've been on for an hour now. I'll put up the link again. Bishop, if you want to come on, because I know you're happy about the fact that we got Genty. So I put the link again for you guys if you just want to come in. I'm just holding down the fourth for Cap. He did pop in from Green Bay for a little bit. I'll be getting off pretty soon. I'm just letting everybody jump in and say how they feel. Same with you, Raiders EZ3. If you want to jump on, I just put on the StreamYard link for anyone. Ramiro Castro.
I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna go watch the rest of the draft. Thank you, Angelo, for bringing me on. Sharif, it's always good to see you, bro. It's been we've been doing this shit for years, bro. So it's awesome. Cap, always thank you for letting me use your channel. Good night, brothers.
All right, good night, buddy. All right, so yeah, hey Ralph, I just put up the link. If you want to jump in, I'm only going to be on for just a little bit longer. I'm waiting for mainly the other picks and letting people jump in who haven't gotten a chance to say how they feel. But yeah, so far, again, as a recap to everyone, the number 1 pick went to the Titans, Cam Ward. The number 2 pick was a trade. The Jaguars traded a lot, a haul, 2 first-round picks, second-round pick, swapped a bunch of forwards. Like they gave a haul, but they took Travis Hunter in the second. Abdul Carter went third to the Giants. The 4th pick was Will Campbell, which everybody knew, offensive line, LSU to the Patriots. The number 5th pick, which the Browns, I think, Cleveland Browns is the one winning this draft right now. They have 2 second-round picks now, and they have 2 first-round picks next year. And they took Mason Graham to pair up with Myles Garrett. So the Browns defense is going to be monstrous next year.
Wow.
And then the number 6 pick was the Raiders, who did not trade. I wanted them to trade to get more, but they wanted Ashton Genty. So let's just hope that Ashton Genty is really as good as advertised. Armand Membu, who is the pick I wanted, went number 7 to the New York Jets, which again was a smart move. Last year, they took Olu Fashanu, trying to build their O-line. This year, they took Armand Membu, so they're building the trenches the right way. A little bit of a shocker for me. Tetro McMillan went to Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers at number 8. That was interesting, but certainly Bryce Young needs more weapons, I guess. So we'll see if that partnership works. Number 9 was the Saints, who took Kelvin Banks to pair him with the guy I wanted last season, which is Talisi Fuaga. So they built their O-line. They're going to be set for tackle in the future. A shocker, again, at number 10 was the Bears. took a tight end. So I guess Ben Johnson wants a 2 tight end set since they already have Cole Kmet, but they took Colston Loveland from Michigan, looked upon by everyone as possibly the best tight end of this draft. Number 11 was edge Mikael Williams from Georgia, went to the San Francisco 49ers. Number 12 was guard Tyler Booker, Alabama, went to the Dallas Cowboys. Number 13 was another defensive tackle from Michigan, Kenneth Grant. So Miami is doing something to replace the loss of Christian Wilkins, who went to the Raiders. Number 14 was Tyler Warren, who is compared to like a Gronkowski to the Indianapolis Colts at tight end. Number 15, Jalen Walker, linebacker from Georgia, went to the Atlanta Falcons. Number 16 is Walter Nolan. And now the Bengals just selected Shamar Stewart, edge, probably trying to make sure that if Trey Hendrickson doesn't stick around, they have an edge. So they took an edge, Shamar Stewart. Not sure what's going to happen with Trey Hendrickson. Heard about him being possibly traded, so we will see. But
I'm shocked Cincinnati didn't work on that O-line over there. Burrows continues to take a beating despite his numbers, but I'm amazed they didn't try to address that O-line with all the depth available.
Yeah. Yeah, that I mean, to me, the biggest shock is still that trade. That was
yes.
They literally got a haul. It was a. I mean, maybe Travis Hunter is that good, but 2 first-round picks and your second pick this year too. I
didn't see that coming.
Yeah, no, the trade was insane. That was
But he's from Florida, am I correct? I mean, as far as his background,
I believe so. You might be right about that, Sharif.
So it might be partly motivated by branding and getting the turnstiles and ticket sales going down there, but or maybe they just see it as 2 players in one. Maybe that's their rationale. But Cleveland came out on top. Remember, Hugh Jackson pulled off a big haul for Cleveland, I guess almost 10 years ago. It didn't translate to a whole lot, but let's see what they do this time.
Yeah, no. And again, I put up the link for the show again. Cool Kev, if you want to jump in, tell us what you think. Ramiro Castro, Stoffel, if you guys all want to jump on, I put up the link again. It's on the chat. But yeah, that trade, Sharif, was the Browns traded their number 2 overall pick. And what they ended up, they traded their number 2, a 4th round pick, and a 6th round pick. And the Jaguars ended up giving them the number 5 overall pick, their 2nd round pick this year, number 36.
Wow.
So now the Browns are going to pick number 33, and they're going to pick number 36. And they also got their 4th round of this year, number 126. And the Jaguars also gave them their first pick next year. That's a lot, man, to get Travis Hunter.
Wow. I didn't know. Wow. Yeah. That's almost Herschel Walker like almost.
I mean,
wow.
It's a lot. It's a lot. But maybe he's as good as they. I don't know. We'll see. I think again we're at the same spot as we were last year. Is Ashton Genty a day 1 starter? That's a yes. So if we could be good enough to also have a 2nd round pick as a day 1 starter and a 3rd round pick as a day 1 starter, then I think we'll be happy. That's what happened with us last year. We got 3 day 1 starters. So, we'll see what happens. I'm not quite sure that the Jaguars will be able to play Travis Hunter both ways, but they'll probably try to have him do both wide receiver and defensive back. Again, man, I don't know.
Yeah, he's been very vocal about that. So I guess if they willing to give up that much, I think they will accommodate him as much as they reasonably can.
Right.
Because he's been very open about that. Wherever he goes, that's what he wants to do or try to do. And they just, I guess they just love the kid, or maybe the owner's drinking some expensive champagne tonight and just felt like cashing all in on him. But you're talking about a Heisman Trophy winner. You're talking about a local kid, from Florida, the state of Florida. Maybe they think they can sell a whole lot of jerseys. They maybe he can help Lawrence, give him another bona fide threat on the outside, and do some other things for you, help shore up your defense. It's going to be very interesting. I mean, Deion did do it once upon a time, so we do have a precedent of football players having done that, mainly Deion Sanders. So it's hell, and they might as well get their money's worth for all the damn picks that they gave up for the kids. So why, if he's healthy and up to it, I guess they will. They're going to try it.
Ah, Jesus. All right. So Gray Zabel, who I wanted, I knew he
Oh
was going to get
no!
picked up by somebody. Seattle just took him. Number 18 pick, Seattle Seahawks just took guard Gray Zabel. So now the two best guards, Tyler Booker went number 12 to the Cowboys. Gray Zabel went number 18 to the Seahawks. So the only guard left that's like a first round grade type guard is going to be Donovan Jackson, Ohio State. So hopefully he can still be there for us in the second round. I'm hoping.
With our luck, the Chargers take him.
Yeah, so we'll see, man. Damn it. Ah!
Yeah, I heard you mention that guy a couple of times. So
yeah, no, Gray Zabel is really good and we need guards, Sharif. We need guards. We need guards. Guard. I mean, guards. We need somebody to help. Jackson Powers Johnson can't man that middle all by himself. He needs help. And it can't be someone who's just a side piece. It needs to be somebody who could go one-on-one with people.
Yeah, right. And that's the key to pulling and running to one side of the field is the capability and the fluidity of your guards. And I'm not shocked that Dallas took one because quiet as kept, they deserve a lot of credit for most of their picks panning out, particularly on the O-line and even on the other side of the ball. And I think Travis Frederick retired for them. So guess they want to keep that O-line solid. But they've been knocking it out the park as far as guys they take in the first round, especially on the offensive line. So if Dallas like that kid, I would imagine he's going to pan out over there.
Right. And again, for you guys, it's been about an hour now. Captain Jack was on. He's in Green Bay. He got to do his take. Everything's kind of loud at the draft. I'm just manning it right now for the show. Let people say their piece. I'll be getting off pretty soon. I'm waiting for the Denver pick just to see what ends up happening, and the Chargers pick just to see what happens.
You can't trust that treacherous Sean Payton. After what Denver pulled off last year, and a lot of us in the nation was sour on Bo Nix, and yet that worked out for them. So it's going to be very interesting to see which direction they go.
Now, again, I'm hoping that we get a shot at a great guard as our. We're still going to pick number 6. We're going to get the 6th turn to pick in the second round. It's just that I hope someone like Donovan Jackson would still be there by then. We'll see. We need a guard, though. We need a guard.
There's nobody on the free agent market you think we can insert?
They were already there, and we didn't buy any of them. And now, Sharif, we only have 42 million left. We need to keep some money to extend Colton Miller, and then we still need some of that money. That 42 million also has to go to all these rookies that we're going to be getting. And there's 9 of them, right? We have 9 picks, so that's the thing. Is 42 million isn't a lot when you look at the grand scheme of it, because we have to pay for the running back now, and we have to pay for the second pick. So, I got my buddy Albert, who's a Rams fan. He's texting me right now. He says for the Rams, he would love to get Sanders or Jihad Campbell. So we'll see. I mean, the Rams actually would be someone who could take a quarterback, because they need somebody, right, to back up the future for Matthew Stafford. So it's possible. I could see Shedeur Sanders going to the Rams. That would make sense. It's LA.
Yes, exact. And his father would love that. You know, you're talking about a big market, glamorous background, backdrop.
He'd have a good offensive coordinator, right, Sharif? And his head coach, Sean McVay, is an offensive genius. So, yeah, that's possible. Again, I still think, guys, that Shedeur Sanders is going to drop to the second round. It's going to be like Geno Smith in that year where he drops. Now, the real question then, Sharif, is what if he drops to our second round pick? You think the Raiders are going to take Shedeur Sanders?
I wouldn't totally rule it out. And I wouldn't be crushed by it at all. You know, in the ideal world, I would welcome it, because you will still buy that you will still have that quarterback insurance for a 36-year-old Geno, who's only locked in for 2 more years financially, and let him sit and learn. This is a place he does have a desire to play for among his list of teams. So hell, you know, we took number 4 in the second round, around at the same spot, and he hung around for a while. So that I wouldn't be mad at that at all.
Yeah. Oh, okay. The pick is in. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at number 19. Just waiting for the commissioner to jump in here. Last year, remember, they took Graham Barton as their center of the future. So this could be another O-line pick. This could be Tampa Bay. I mean, this could be a lot of this could be a defensive player. This might be the first cornerback. I haven't heard anybody take a defensive back yet. This could be the first cornerback of the draft. Let's see. Could be Will Johnson. Oh, wide receiver. Emeka Egbuka, number 19. Ohio State.
Wow.
Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver. I'm very surprised that Matthew Golden of Texas is still on the board right now. Wow. So the first wide receiver taken in this draft was Tetro McMillan by the Carolina Panthers at the number 8 pick. And the second wide receiver to go, Emeka Egbuka, the Ohio State, number 19, probably to replace Godwin, you know, because they still have Mike Evans. So this is probably the replacement for to have their Chris Godwin in the future. Wow.
Yeah, I guess that would make Baker happy. Isn't that the kid who says he doesn't really like to study film?
No. Tetro McMillan's the kid who said he doesn't like to study film.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I got him mixed up.
So number 20 is coming up, and that's what I was waiting for, ladies and gentlemen. Just want to see what our 2 AFC West, because I don't really care who the Chiefs get. The Chiefs always do good with whatever they got. So as soon as I see what the Chargers pick, guys, I'm getting off. Just so you know. So if you want to jump in, the link is out there. I can keep putting it up for any of you guys who want to jump on. Captain Jack is in Green Bay. He did make an appearance with my man Black Thanos we're not sad about Genty, but again, we're realistic about the fact that the kid could get injured if we don't protect him.
Yes, that's fairly
So,
stated. Just
yeah,
cautiously optimistic.
right, right. Yeah, because
I res-
I'll be one of the most excited people, Sharif, if he runs for 2,000 yards in his rookie year. I mean, of course, but I don't know how that's going to happen if we don't protect him.
absolutely, and he being a smaller guy as it is, at 5'8" and maybe 210, 205, so that's an obvious concern.
All right, here we go. Denver. So Denver, Steelers, then Chargers are all picking next, back to back. And when the Chargers pick is in, guys, I'll talk about it a little bit. Then I'm getting off. So just so that you all know, I'll be jumping on Jeff's show, the New England Raiders podcast, with those gentlemen, and yeah, no, but Sharif. Who do you think Denver's going to take on this one? I've been hearing it's Omarion Hampton, running back. Well, what do you think?
Yeah, RB makes sense for them right now because off the top of my head, they sure as hell don't need nobody in the secondary. So I've lost count of any other running backs other than Genty has been taken. I don't know if Henderson is still there or not, but we shall see.
We will see.
I just hope they reach for somebody and blow it. We need them to swing and miss.
Now, how crazy would it be if they took Shedeur Sanders?
Yeah, that would be bananas one. Especially after last year. I can't foresee that. Unless they pick them up for a trade piece for one of their partners and do something like that.
I'll tell you another. I mean, Omarion Hampton would be a pick. But again, a lot of still. There's nobody's taking a defensive back yet. And if you think about Patrick Surtain having another, if Denver takes Will Johnson, Michigan defensive back, or Jedi Barron, Texas defensive back, that'd be pretty crazy to partner him up with Patrick Surtain. That would be pretty crazy.
And that defense is very respectable as it is. And I can see that line of thinking when you're in the same division with a Mahomes and a Herbert, when you're in the AFC period with the number of gunslingers in the conference. So few things fortify a team like a great 1-2 punch at the cornerback position. That's what got us our last Super Bowl with Haynes and Hayes.
Here we go. Looks like the pick might be in. We're about to find out. Yeah, it's a lot of big boys getting taken in the first round. A lot of big boys getting taken. The pick is in. Here we go, Sharif.
Uh-oh.
The number 20th pick, the Denver Broncos select here we go. Who did Sean Payton take to torment our Raiders this year? Who can it be? I mean, I can totally see it being a defensive back Will Johnson from Michigan to partner him with Patrick Surtain. That would be crazy.
The commissioner must be working on the name pronunciation.
Yeah, right now it's Adam Schefter's talking. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Ian Rappaport's talking.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. the 20th overall selection, the Denver Broncos, is coming up here pretty soon. Okay, here it is. They're walking. Roger Goodell is walking with, I don't know, is that his kid? I don't know. It's some young man. I don't know who it is. Oh, it's a Wish kid.
Okay.
17-year-old cancer survivor.
Okay, kudos to him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I guess he's reading the pick, huh?
Yeah, he's going to get to read the pick. That's his wish.
Right.
So here we go. All right, Sam, tell us who they got. Jahdae Barron. I told you it's going to be a defensive back. The defensive back from Texas, Jahdae Barron, is the first one to go. And that, sir, partnered with Patrick Surtain, is going to be scary.
Wow. You called it, bro, and it makes perfect sense for them. You know, now you can't just throw away from Surtain and think you pick on the weaker guy. So and they're thinking of Mahomes, they're thinking of, you know, us with Bowers and
I'll tell you this. Jim Harbaugh loves his Michigan boys, and the Chargers could be taking Will Johnson. He was a Michigan captain, and you know, again, like I said, Harbaugh loves his Michigan boys.
yes, I can foresee that for them, particularly with Jackson, who didn't really pan out over there. The free agent corner they paid all that money to was about 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and they did bring Khalil back and gave him a nice, respectable deal, $18 million for 1 year. That was pretty commendable because you know it might be his last season. But if we're lucky, maybe they will go out on a limb and take somebody crazy. But Harbaugh doesn't strike me as a person with those type of tendencies.
Yeah, no, and he knows. Again, he loves his Michigan. Oh, so, but yeah, this might be. We might actually, since Jahdae Barron being the first one taken as the defensive back, we might see a run now of the defensive backs. So this next pick is Pittsburgh, and you and remember, everybody keeps thinking this is the Shedeur Sanders pick right here, but I don't think
this is the Shedeur spot.
I don't think it's going to be Shedeur, man. I really don't. I think,
and I don't want it to be.
Yeah,
because I've hated the Steelers forever.
They're showing Shedeur with Dion smiling.
Wow.
So I don't know if they think it's going to.
I know the fix might be in. Damn.
Oh, maybe it is Shedeur because they're smiling.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I should have known. I despise the Steelers too, man. Damn.
I mean, again, they haven't announced it yet. They just said that the pick is in, and these two are smiling.
Oh,
so,
man.
I don't know if they're smiling because they are the pick or that they're smiling because they're not the pick. I'm not sure. Because the Rams would be a better place for them, honestly.
Well, I know Tomlin has a good relationship with Dion, and that's a stable organization. So, you know, they would feel comfortable over there because they know what they're doing. I just hate the Steelers now for, you know, nearly 50 years. I know he can do well there. I didn't want them to get him.
This could also be Omarion Hampton's spot because they just got rid of Najee Harris. So I could see a running back here.
That's true. That's true. But having Mason Rudolph and who else is in a quarterback room? I know they took that guy from Pennsylvania from a couple of years ago, Kirby or whatever his name was. I don't even know.
He ended up going to Eagles.
Oh, that's
Kenny
right.
Pickett.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kenny Pickett went to Eagles. Here we go.
Oh, damn. My worst nightmare. I hope I'm wrong.
Derek Harmon.
Wow.
I told you. Defensive
Wow.
tackle. Derek Harmon. I told you it wasn't going to be Shedeur Sanders.
You said defensive tackle?
Defensive tackle.
You said it, bro. I give credit where credit is due.
I said that
wow.
Mike Tomlin will pick the best defensive player that he believes will help the team. He's a defense guy. He don't want no Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur, if the Rams don't take Shedeur Sanders, he's falling to the second round.
So that means we still got hope.
Wow.
Keep hope alive.
Derek Harmon.
You said it, bro.
Harmon. Hey, I'm just telling you what I study. Derek Harmon.
Wow. But you know, there's few franchises who appreciate and respect defense like the Steelers. You know,
mark my words right now, Sharif. Will Johnson, defensive back, Michigan, is going next right now to the Los Angeles Chargers. Harbaugh will not let his Michigan captain get by this pick. This is a Will Johnson pick right after the commercial.
Didn't he have some injury concerns? What is it, knee or something? Am I thinking of the right guy?
Yeah, he did, but he should be ready to go. Like, I don't think that'll be an issue. And he was really good prior to that injury, too. I mean, that's why a lot of people thought the Raiders was going to take him at number 6. I think he's dropping just because of the injury, but also because there's so many good players that have been taken so far.
You're right.
So far, every pick that has been named, none of them are going to be bust. I don't think they were all really good at college. So
right. But I believe you're right. That's probably exactly why he's dropped. And I wish we would have had the foresight a few years ago, because Tyree Wilson had those concerns coming out about an injury issue, and Ziegler took him anyway, and he wasn't even really ready to go when we took him going into the preseason. So, and he still hasn't developed after showing promise, you know, in college.
the only thing I would say here too is, I mean, I'm trying to think, what else would Harbaugh want? Harbaugh loves the trenches. All the best defensive tackles have already been taken, especially now with Derek Harmon getting taken. So he missed on defensive tackle. I could see him getting a linebacker like Jahad Campbell. I could see that because, you know, he loves his defense. But nah, man, I'm telling you, I think this is going to be Will Johnson. He can't say no to his Michigan captain, man. I think this is a Will Johnson pick right here for the Chargers.
Yeah, and that kid literally being on top of the board is, in terms of cornerbacks, it's you know, it's a safe, sensible pick all the way around for the Chokers.
Yeah, and he's a big corner. He's a 6'1", I think.
Wow.
I get fast. He was basically like Revis Island for Michigan. I mean, he was that good in terms of before the injury. So, you know, and they do need a defensive back. So how are you going to guard Jacoby Myers? You know what I mean? You're going to need somebody to guard Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers is about to get open a lot. So we'll see.
I've always preferred the bigger corners, you know, like, I don't know why most of them tend to be maybe between 5'9" and 5'11", yet guarding receivers who are like 6'1" and up in a lot of cases. You know, it almost seems unfair or illogical, but I just think they train or implement taller players to play the wide receiver position, and then people of a similar skill set who's a little shorter they'll put him at corner. I remember when we got Sean Smith years ago, and I thought we hit the jackpot. I said, yeah, this guy got height. He looked great with the Chiefs, and he was just a colossal failure with us.
Here's another theory for you. Raiders 7528. Thanks for listening right now on the Captain Jack Rackham show. Captain Jack's in Green Bay at the draft. He says that the Browns, because now they have the number 33rd pick overall and the number 36th pick overall, that's where Shedeur Sanders could end up. Shedeur Sanders could end up being the first pick of the second round. And that's true. That's possible. But I still think
would make sense.
I still think the Rams would make sense. If the Rams don't take him, he's definitely falling. But here we go. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left. The Chargers are taking their sweet little time.
Don't figure.
Are taking their sweet time, guys. Maybe they're talking about trade right now. Honestly, that could be why they're at 2. The clock is still going. The pick is not in yet for the Chargers. The Chargers are charging right now.
Yeah. Reminds you of 2021 in that last game in Vegas.
That's right.
When they were playing for the damn timeout, or what was that coach Brandon Staley?
I was at that game, Sharif. That was the game right before I went to that game, and then I had the liver transplant shortly after.
Right.
But yeah, I was at that game with my brother. Shout out to my brother.
Great.
Yeah.
I was out there too, but I never made it inside the stadium. But I watched it at a nearby place. But I did do the tailgate. The tickets were expensive. They were, man. I waited even until mid-second quarter. The cheapest tickets were still $400. I said, hell with that.
Yeah, no, my brother spent bank for us to be. We were end zone, like row 8, row 10. It was
nice.
Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Floyd Mayweather was there. It was crazy. It was nuts.
Yeah.
Yep, they're showing on camera right now Will Johnson, but he doesn't look like, I don't know. Like it's still on the clock. There is 1 minute, 15 seconds left right now, Sharif. They are taking their sweet little time, man.
Yeah, or they just want to make sure nobody calls them at the last minute with some sort of offer.
True. Could be a trade.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. 55 seconds. The Chargers better not charge her and miss on their pick. The war room still looks like they're thinking.
Man,
40 seconds. 30 seconds. Oh my gosh. Are the Chargers going to charge her?
Wouldn't that be something? That would make my night.
Hey, 20 seconds and the Captain Jack is back with us right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey folks, I'm sorry. If I put my phone to the side, it's because I need to hear you. It's because it's loud. It's loud out here, so apologies. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you, Cap.
Yeah, I hear you, Cap.
Okay. And I'm glad to see that Sharif is here. And I want y'all are really flacking me, kind of like what Angelo was saying.
Severe on right now with Captain Jack. Severe Raiders with you right
brother.
now, Captain Jack.
What's going on, Cap?
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, man.
I can't hear anything, but again, apologies, because all I hear right now is Billie Jean. So, that's what it must be in a commercial or something.
That's a great sound.
But now they went to whatever the fuck that. I know the song, I just can't remember it. Anyway, for those that are getting really mad at me for speaking my mind, please refrain from saying that I am stupid. And I'm going to call you out, Sharif. You said I was an idiot. And I love you, brother, but I'm not an idiot.
When did I say that, Cap? Not at
You
all.
didn't say that, Cap.
Well,
Sharif didn't say that. It was Jack Kenna. Jack Kenna was
oh, okay.
wondering why
Well,
you were mad.
I'm just I'm okay. I apologize. It was a paraphrase of what Sharif said is idiocy, correct?
Oh, you talking about my post about the old lineman? Yeah, well, that wasn't directed at you, Cap. I did that 5-6 hours ago.
Oh, I got you. I got you. I knew it wasn't a direct response, and that's why I put down in my thing said, "Dude, I'm not an idiot." And the reason why, again, and this is exactly, and I don't give a fuck to who the Chargers get as long as it's not somebody good. Hang on a second.
No, I want to know what it is, Cap. I think it's going to be Will
Yeah.
Johnson. I think it's gonna be
Oh, yep, it's Hampton. So and they needed that. They needed that.
Wow.
And this
right,
is exactly my point.
Damn.
Thank you, Los Angeles Chargers, for proving my point. Okay. Here's the thing. Oh, I get it. It's a horrible thing for the Raiders, but it proves my point. There are so many great,
So many.
or below great, possibly great, really
Hampton's great.
great,
Hampton's great.
running backs in this draft. I'm not pissed we got Genty. I'm glad that they actually made a pick that was not a boneheaded pick. Like I said, like the Jaguars trading the fucking farm for Travis Hunter. That was just beyond idiocy. That's idiocy. In my book. That's idiocy. I'm sorry, I don't know if you guys can see it or not. But the amount of O linemen that are building blocks, like you said, Angelo, when they had 3 offensive linemen off the board, actually 4 offensive linemen off the board within the first 12 picks. That's a quarter of the draft, and the first 12 picks were offensive linemen, stud building blocks. I don't know, and maybe Angelo can tell me, maybe Sharif can tell me, maybe, and I can't see who the hell it is. My glasses are okay, and I apologize. Okay, apologies, brother. It's the phone. It's the phone. It's like I can't see the little the little letters. But maybe y'all can tell me when you have Booker and Membo and the kid that people were saying the Raiders might overdraft, and then obviously the kid from LSU. Maybe you can tell me who these other blue chip offensive linemen that are available in rounds 2 through whatever. Because as you can see, there's very few offensive linemen there. And again, I love Genty. Don't take that I don't like the pick. It just I think we could have had a pick like Hampton, a pick like Judkins or Henderson, a pick like Scott. Oh, there's my girl. Oh, I'm glad you came back. You want to talk about a beautiful lady? It's this lady. We're doing my live on my show.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Like I said, we got some beautiful fans. This is why I go to the draft, because I see beautiful people here. Okay? That's my girl. Mwah.
Cam Jack already got Kansas City Chiefs.
Don't go away. I want to make sure safe.
Eagles ladies.
All right.
You're getting all the ladies severe.
Man.
Now you guys know why I go to the draft. Okay? I'm just saying.
Cam Jack's got his own draft selection going on.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm not mad at you, Cat.
Yeah. Hey, remember Sharif said that I could be a gynecologist, so I'm just saying that. And that is a direct quote. And by the way, I love you, Sharif. I don't know who the Pack are going to pick. So it's kind of loud out here, so I don't know if there's reback from what's going on. Stand by. But again, I'm glad that we did. I'm glad we addressed a need with a great player. I'm not pissed off at it. But I just think that it was they better in rounds 2 through 7. They better get another great offensive lineman. Somebody that might have dropped. I don't think anybody's going to drop. They better get a damn linebacker. And Grant was taken off the board. I wanted Grant because I think Grant is actually going to be a better defensive tackle than
Kenneth
Graham
Grant.
is.
Yeah, Kenneth Grant.
And I think he went to Miami. And, they were saying maybe he's a day 2 pick. I'm like, well, I don't know. But there are players we need. And again, you guys, I'm going to put the phone up to my ear. You're probably going to see a picture of the stars because I got to hear what you guys are saying. I apologize.
Go ahead, Severe. Tell us all your overall thoughts.
It's don't hate the pick, don't love the pick. It's terrible value, in my opinion. I mean, I think Hampton is damn near as good, or if not better, as a pro, possibly than Genty. And you see he was picked at 22nd. If Henderson does not get picked in the first round, that's going to make the Genty pick look even worse because Henderson and Hampton, in my opinion, are going to be about as effective and as impactful at the next level as Aston Genty. And neither one of them are 5'8", and guys that refuse to run the 40 because they're probably a low 4'5", 4'6" guys. Both of those guys are 4'4" guys. They're both bigger than Genty. They're both better in pass pro than Genty. So, I mean, Genty's a pick now. He's a good prospect. I think he's going to be a good player. But I think just the value piece wasn't there. You see a guy like Hampton, as I said, he goes in the 20s. A guy like Trevion, at this point, he's going to go in the 20s or in the second round. I think both of those guys, like I said, will be about as good as Genty at the next level, and they didn't go top 10. So I just think it's a bad value pick. Can't argue with the player. Good player, clean prospect, high character guy. But I just don't think the value is there. There are blue chip offensive linemen there. Blue chip defensive players there, and we elected to pass on all of those guys and take a running back in the top 10 in what has been deemed as the deepest running back draft class of all time. So it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But, like I said, I'm not mad at it. It's not like a Leatherwood or Arnett situation where it's like, oh, my God, like, you idiots, what are you doing? It's just like we could have did better, but I don't hate it.
It wasn't a Cleveland Farrell pick for you, Severe?
Yeah. I knew we were picking Cleveland Farrell, though. I told people after we beat the Broncos that year in a meaningless game we didn't need to win that took us out of the top 3 that we were going to end up picking Cleveland Farrell or Ed Oliver. And we indeed ended up picking Cleveland Farrell. So that wasn't a surprise to me. I knew what was coming. Everybody else didn't know what was coming because, I don't know what they thought the Raiders were going to do at that point. They weren't going to be able to trade back because there weren't any players worth trading back for. And they weren't going to be able to trade up because there are only like 3 blue chip players in that class. And it was Kyler, Nick, and Quinnen. So they were between a rock and a hard place at that point. So I kind of knew what was going on there.
And we are on live right now on the Captain Jack Rackham YouTube show with the great Severe Raider, who's going to have a live show here in a few minutes. What time does your show start, Severe?
You start at 8, man.
So
I just wanted to make sure I hopped on. I told you I was going to hop on, man.
Yeah, no, Severe show is going to start as soon as he finishes up here. Make sure you go into his YouTube channel, one of the best Raider content YouTube channels in the business. The Severe Raider YouTube. Y'all got it. If you don't know about Severe, you better find out right now in the next 15 minutes because he gives us all the great takes. Severe, I want to get your
Cap. I think Cap is saying something. He's on mute though.
Oh, okay, all right. Hold on. Sorry, Cap. Go ahead.
No, I just said, if you are not listening to Severe, you got a severe fucking problem. and again, Severe, see, I would have seen when I saw the picture on a 3 screen. I was, but again, you like my glasses because these are prescription, but because my one eye, I'd have to do this, to move it. Because I like the piece on my glasses, but my vision is still impaired for shit that I need to see up front. But it's a lot I can actually see, and I love the glasses like this, so I don't have to wear the eye patch. It's right on my glasses. So again, Severe, I apologize, shipmate. I could see you, but I couldn't see you. But again, like I said, if you're not watching Severe, you have a severe fucking problem. There you go. That's what I can do for you. I'm gonna bow out. Oh no, Angela's gonna kick me out because I'm afraid that I'm gonna push the end button, and I don't want to do that. But remember, make sure you go and hit Severe's show for sure, gentlemen. Again, I agree with Severe. a value pick at 6. They could have traded back. If somebody is that enamored with Ashton Genty, they could have traded back and gotten more picks that we're going to need. And again, I'm not, and people are going to come up to me when they see me at a game like, oh, Captain Jack doesn't like Ashton Genty. That's not, no.
No.
That's not what I said.
Yeah.
Listen to what I'm saying. They need, like you said, that blue chip stud on the D line, Grant. Okay,
Yeah, I love him.
maybe moving back when there's running backs to get. That's what I'm saying. Guy, hey, again, make sure you're looking and doing the Severe show after this when it's done. Angelo kicked me out. I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to Shreve, but tell Shreve if he's here, brother. And he called me an idiot. He said it was idiocy. I apologize. And I've been a little bit, and no, I have not been drinking. I don't fucking drink. This is natural exuberance.
Captain Jack just high.
I don't get high either. But that's what I'm going to go. Maybe they might get me in the mix. Who they pick?
All right, Cap.
Is Green Bay picking?
Oh, the Packers picked Golden. They picked a great wide receiver, Matthew Golden.
They took Golden.
That's a great pick.
That's good. That's a great pick.
Great pick. Guys and gals, continue to watch the show. Kick me out, Angelo. I'm not going to hit that end button.
Thanks,
you guys
Cap.
take care.
Good night. So, no, Severe, I want to get your take overall on all of it, too, because who was your number 6 pick going? And I'm going to bring Raph on just to listen. Raph, let Severe go because he's got to do his whole thing, and then I'll let you go after.
Right.
But go ahead, Severe. Who was your number 6 overall pick, or what did you want the Raiders to do?
Honestly, right there's 2 guys I really liked. I kind of knew we weren't going to get him, but Teteroa was a guy I really liked. And then Will Johnson was another guy that I really liked. Teteroa went high. Teteroa went top 10. Will Johnson,
number 8 to the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, to
the Panthers. Yeah, to Dave Canales, who was the guy that worked under Pete Carroll. So obviously, he's a guy that would have fit kind of that regime. And Will Johnson is a guy. I mean, I guess teams are kind of scared off of him. He had the injury late in the season. He wasn't able to work out. Ashton Genty chose not to work out. So, that's you're not going to draft a guy because he doesn't work out. I mean, you just drafted the running back at 6 because he chose not to work out. So I was hoping for just that's not a running back. I didn't want a quarterback first round. I didn't want a running back. If you wanted to go offensive line, I was okay with Calvin Banks. Membu, I was kind of whatever on, but I wouldn't have minded Membu because at least I understand, what we're building. We're getting the building blocks in place. And we can get the skill guys later. So at this point, what? Now because this is such a deep running back class that we could have addressed O-line in this round and wide receiver or cornerback in the second round, and then still get a very good running back in the 3rd or the 4th round. A guy that's still going to be very impactful in the running game. And now, it's not a deep corner draft, not really, not too deep of a linebacker draft. So now we're going to get players that I don't feel are going to be as much as valuable in their position as the running backs are later on at their position. And so I just think we just mismanaged this draft.
And Severe, can I ask you too? Because I know Severe is going to be going live. We're going to be cutting off from the Captain Jack show. Make sure you go into the Severe Raider YouTube. The best every day, man. He's always on with somebody, though. This guy's on with somebody, and he's always talking Raider football. Now that the draft actually happened, I want to get your take overall because, as you know, Severe, and I've been screaming it from the mountaintops for the last 3 years, I always want us to go back to the trenches. I've been wanting us to build O-line forever. Last year, I wanted Fuaga. They took Brock Bowers. Fuaga went after. This year, I wanted Membu. We took Ashton Genty, and Membu gets taken after, right? And whatever. Like, I'm going to support whoever we get. But I've now seen Gray Zabel get taken, Tyler Booker get taken, Banks get taken. Like, every good O-line, dude. Yeah. So,
and only one other running back has gotten taken. So, we're going to have plenty of running backs later on.
So now let me ask you, like, who would you want then? And I'm sure you're going to expound upon this on your show, but who do you want for our next pick? Because I'm thinking still O-line. I would like a Donovan Jackson from Ohio State, but who would you want?
Yeah, I would want Donovan Jackson. My guy not going. Oh, my favorite offensive lineman in this draft class, and he might go. He'll probably go. And I have a feeling the Texans will probably grab him. But my favorite offensive lineman in this draft class, if he doesn't go to the Texans, which I'm thinking they'll take him, it's a guy named Josh Simmons.
Yeah. But he's injured, right, Severe?
He did get hurt. He did get hurt. But if Josh Simmons did not get hurt, Josh Simmons would have been the number one tackle in this class. Like, he's the most talented, he's the most gifted tackle in this class. Membu is a freak athlete himself, but he's not as smooth and fluid and just it looks so effortless for Josh Simmons. Everything just looks good, you know. He's not as powerful as Membu, but I just think he does everything else so well that's a guy I just absolutely love at the tackle position. But like I said, with what the Texans have done this offseason, getting rid of Tunsil and a few of their other offensive linemen, I just have a feeling they'll go him. There's some other guards available. Tate Ratledge is a guy I think we can look at. Trying to think. There's a few other guys.
I like Jonas Savanea.
Jonas Savanea out of Arizona. He's another guy. I think he played tackle Arizona, but I think they're projecting him as a guard at the next level. So, I mean, this guy, I like him too. I was talking about him early on in the process too. So, either one of those guys. No, I wouldn't mind going offensive lineman there or corner if they feel the need to go corner. You know, we have a depending on how because they spend a lot of money on Kappa. I'm sure they like Meredith. He performed admirably last year, so I can see them kind of. I would rather have some more competition there, especially since I'm not that big of a fan of Kappa. So I would want some competition there, especially with Parham not really performing up to par in my book. But if they elected to go corner or even linebacker, I wouldn't be surprised.
And then but you're gonna oh shit. Severe. The Vikings just took Donovan Jackson, guard, Ohio State.
Damn.
I knew it, man. I told you, bro.
Will Johnson. Well, Josh Simmons might go next.
Yeah, you're right, because Josh Simmons is good. And you said going to the Texans, right? You think Simmons is going to the Texans?
They have to go O-line. They have to go O-line. They may not take Simmons because they may be scared off by the end. They have to go O-line though. I don't know who would be the next. Who would they think would be the next guy at O-line? But they almost have to go O-line, or maybe they go. Maybe if they do they want to go? Now they just pick Will Anderson. Yeah, so they got to go. They got to go Josh Simmons. If they don't go Josh Simmons, I'd be very, very surprised.
Oh shit! A trade. Oh shit! The Giants are going to pick number 25.
Oh, they're Shador. That's Shador.
Oh, there it is.
Or no, or maybe Jackson Dart. I heard they like Jackson Dart too. That was my bold take was that Jackson Dart will go before Shador.
They're going to make it right now.
Wow.
So we'll see.
Wow. So you're going to say Jackson Dart or Shador Sanders right here to the Giants.
I will say Sanders to the Giants.
Now, let me ask you guys this question, because I was not surprised. I've been telling everyone that there's no fucking way the Steelers were going to take Sanders anyways. Mike Tomlin is a defense guy, and when he took Barton now, God, I'm forgetting his name now. His dad played too, but anyway, it was a defensive tackle from Oregon.
What's my guy's name? Yeah, the Oregon DT.
Derek Harmon. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, that made sense to me. I thought Shador was going to go to the Rams, but this one right here could be. We could see the quarterback run right here. So Severe, stick with us up until this next two picks because it's a quarterback run, and then we're going to end the show. Ralph, where are you at right now? Yeah, you feeling good that it was Genty? Because me and Severe are kind of in the same boat
right now. I'm just feeling good, but I had to be like really, really fair right now because before the draft, I was like, wow. I mean, that was looking at the good value, but at the end of the day, I mean, I'm very feeling comfortable about that pick. And before the draft, I was gonna be like my pick was Ashton Jensen, and that just came out here. So I know that they just needed like a high caliber running back because, like I said it before, the running back room became a lot of disaster, and that man could be like the answer for it.
Yeah,
I really agree with like Severe's take on the fact that when I saw the Browns get 2 firsts, a second, and a bunch of other motherfucking picks, I was like, that's what we should do. We should totally do that. We should just trade down.
Yeah.
Right. And I was hoping that that's what was going to happen, because I think right now the winner, wouldn't you agree, guys? Severe, is the Browns. The Browns still got Mason Graham. Yep. They got 2 first picks next year. They get 2 second. They're picking number 33 and number 36. Next, I'm like, man, the Browns won this thing.
Yeah, and next year is supposed to be a damn good QB class as well. They're predicting it to be. So
yeah,
I mean,
exactly, exactly.
That Cleveland might be getting Arch Manning, man. That's all.
Yeah.
The Mannings might be part of the Browns.
Drew Aller's a guy. Nussmeier, people love Nussmeier. I mean, there's a few QBs in this next class that people really like a lot. Dante Moore is a guy that's playing at Oregon. He'll only be a 1-year starter, so he may not come out, but there's a chance he comes out if he has a big year. So there's gonna be some guys in this next class that are interesting.
Does it make you a little bit more upset now that Donovan Jackson got taken too? That I believe that is now a total of 7 offensive linemen taken in the first round, and the Raiders didn't address it.
Yeah, man.
So it was a 2nd round pick, a 3rd round pick. So the Texans are getting a 2nd, a 3rd, and a 2nd next year.
Wow.
So now the Texans are going to get another 2nd, another 3rd this year, and a 2nd next year.
Wow.
From the New York Giants.
That's going to probably be a bad team too. So it's going to be a high 2nd round pick next year.
Oh yeah.
Man.
So here we go.
I mean, I actually got to hop off, man. I got to get ready for the next one, man.
So Severe, go do a quick promo for us real quick so everybody can jump on your show.
Yeah, man. After you guys finish up, man, make sure you guys stick with my guys here for the next few minutes until they end it, man. But when they're done here, hop over to my channel, The Severe Raider on YouTube. Also check me out on social media at The Severe Raider on IG, Snapchat, TikTok, X, all that good stuff, man. I talk a lot of stuff, but I'll joke as well. So it's always a fun time.
Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, the best Raider content guy out. He's on everybody's show all the time. My man talks Raiders nonstop. Please tune in. We are going to stop here in about 2 minutes. Thank you, Severe Raider, for stopping in. We really appreciate you. Good night, brother, and we'll be checking out your show. Thank you.
All right, man. Good night, guys.
Have a good night. Oh man.
So yeah, Rafa, I'm gonna wait for this pick, and then I'm gonna go ahead and cut out because it's at the 158 mark. So if it's Shedeur Sanders, we could jump into Jeff's show if you want to jump into that one. I think.
Oh yeah. Definitely. All right, let's see what they got right now for the Giants.
So here we go. This is the final pick before I end the stream, guys. And I'm just going to go to an end stream. So thanks for everyone joining us. Sharif, Jack Kenna, Severe Raider, Capitan Rafuccio. The New York Giants just made a trade at number 25. They are picking, and their pick is.
Oh, man. Let's see what they got right now. Let's see if the New York Giants can pick something good.
Jackson Dart!
What?
Jackson Dart is the choice. Ladies and gentlemen, Shedeur Sanders will be getting passed up. Jackson Dart is the second quarterback off the board. The New York Giants traded 2 second-round picks and a third-round pick to move back up.
They picked a quarterback.
Texans. So, good night, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us for the last 2 hours. Good night, everybody. Captain Jack, thank you for joining us from Green Bay. And yeah, wow, Jackson Dart. Good night, everybody.